Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition all Hecata Chronicle, Berlin Bloodlines. This is our third and final special in-between season episode, Until We Die. So let's meet our one and only player tonight, Avery.
Hello, everyone. Hi, it's me again, Avery at Avery Deploy on all the social media platforms. I'm style myself as something of an internet personality, and I am the partnerships manager over at the Rolling Nomads. But today, I will be playing unsere gnädige Herr Edgar Veit.
Edgar Veit, yes. Possibly Fionn Loch Dunsern, depending on what we're going to do here. As always, this is a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition actual play. We've gone over our safety and consent, but please check in with yourselves as your well-being is important to all of us who are playing. All the content warnings for this game will be down in the description below. So, we open our scene on a warm afternoon, under the shade of a large oak tree in a secluded meadow. The sun casts a golden glow over the rolling hills, while a gentle breeze rustles the leaves overhead. A checkered blanket is spread across the grass, where a simple yet elegant picnic was laid out. A bottle of wine, fresh fruit, and a small assortment of cheeses and bread. The food has been mostly eaten. Edgar, you are leaning against the trunk of the tree. Aelin is leaning against you, pressed against your chest and between your legs. The warmth of the wine in your belly, the softness of the afternoon light, and the quiet isolation of the meadow creates a cocoon of intimacy around you both. Aelin exhales slowly as she brings your hand closer around herself and begins tracing the lines of your palm. Should I read your future, Edgar?
I'm really not interested in that right now. I'm sort of, I don't know, it's something I've been thinking about, just being in the moment for once. Just being here. I think that's enough for me.
She presses her head harder against your chest and says, I'm always happy to be in the moment with you, Edgar.
It's quite warm. This feels strange.
She takes your other hand and pulls it closer around herself. It's just because you've spent so many days out on that fishing boat. You're not used to the soft sun, just the hard sun.
You're probably right. No, if I let up on being out on the boat, Dad's gonna tan my hide. So.
Yes. Speaking of future, and your father, are you sure that you do not want to give him grandchildren?
Never really thought about it until I met you. Now I find myself thinking about it more often than not.
And?
I don't make a habit of denying you, Aelin, and I'm not going to start now.
But I want to know what you want, Edgar.
I do want that with you. But there are other things to be considered. What sort of life is it for them, for the kids, if I'm always out on the boat?
Do you not think that I could care for the children while you're gone?
I have no doubt that you could.
And you say children. You want more than one.
What can I say? That's the thing with being Catholic. It really doesn't put a cap on how many bairns you want to have.
If it's a concern, Edgar, you could do something else. You always were very good with money.
You're right. I mean, I know how to stretch a pound, but I just don't want for them the life I had. That's all. My mother was away all my life.
Yes, but she's back now, Edgar. You can have a relationship with her now.
Time cannot stitch together always what distances separated. It takes time, it takes mutual commitment.
She turns herself to face you, sort of leans back on her ankles and heels. I am committed to you, Edgar.
I know that. It's never had a doubt. And I know we would both be committed to the wee bairns, but some days I feel cracked, feeling
You feel what?
cracked. Like I'm leaking out whatever is inside of me. Like no matter how hard I try and put the pieces together, something always slips through.
Oh, if life is a puzzle, Edgar, maybe children are a missing piece for you.
As possible. I'm willing to explore the options with you and enjoy doing it. Gonna give her a wink.
She smiles as you say explore, and she sort of takes your hands and moves them up the sundress that she's wearing that has sort of embroidered sunflowers on it. Well, you may start the exploration now, Mr. White.
Mr. Wade. I think I like the sound of that.
She sort of comes on top of your lap, begins straddling you, and you have this sort of intimate moment here. There's no one to disturb you. As you give into the moment, just a sense of there's no one around. You are isolated here. There's no roads. And you start to wonder and think to yourself how you even got here. Did you walk here? There's no sea. There's no ocean. How far inland are you? I need to know, as you think about those things, if you stop Aelin at any point.
I think he will break the embrace for a moment. Say, where did we park the van? How did we get out here? There's no roads.
What do you mean, Edgar? And she sort of moves aside so you can look past her, and you see sort of a beat-up motorcycle on a dirt road.
Aelin, I don't have a motorcycle.
It was a gift. Edgar, are you feeling all right?
No, I'm not. This doesn't feel right. I mean, it feels right, but pieces are wrong.
She puts her hand on your forehead. Oh, Edgar, were you not drinking water out on the boat?
I don't drink water anymore, Aelin.
She sort of rolls her eyes. You need to drink water, Edgar, not just grog or whatever it is you call it.
It's not what I meant. shouldn't be here in the sun. This isn't my life anymore.
Edgar, you're not making any sense. We need to go home. You need to lay down.
We live in Berlin, Aelin. What have you done to me?
This power sort of flows over you. And as you say the word Berlin, as it falls out of your mouth, suddenly everything almost reverses, and you forget what you were talking about, what the issue is. You have a state of confusion in you as Aelin is feeling all over your forehead. Edgar, are you feeling okay?
Not at all.
Do you want to go home?
I think we do.
Should I drive the motorcycle? Are you too...
No, I'll be fine. It's just there's I don't know. It's just a strange feeling, I guess.
I will pack up the picnic, okay? You just rest.
Alright.
As Aelin gets off of you and heads over to where the blanket is and starts packing up things, the utensils and things of that nature, you see a figure standing on the rolling hills just beyond the meadow where you are. It's a person dressed completely in black. He's dressed far too warmly for the day that it is, and he's just staring at you. Or maybe he's staring at Aelin. It's really hard to tell.
I think Edgar will check and make sure he still has the knife in his pocket.
You do.
And we'll just approach them. Oi, lad. You got wandering eyes.
The figure starts walking away, and Aelin calls after you, Edgar, who are you talking to?
Just give me a moment, I'll be right back.
So you turn to say that to Aelin, and turn back. The figure is gone.
Gonna go after them the way they went.
Try to follow them. You see no tracks in the grass.
This is wrong. I think Edgar will flick that knife out. Just take the tip just barely across his thumb.
Mm-hmm.
See if he bleeds.
Then I would say yes.
Flick the knife and put it in his jacket pocket.
To further compound on that fact, you feel a heart beating in your chest. You feel the sunlight on your skin, air in your lungs. Blood rushes to certain body parts when Aelin is getting intimate. Those things all occur.
I think for the first time in Edgar's life, he feels alien in his own body.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a moment to himself. And then walk back.
Aelin is waiting by the motorcycle. She looks extremely concerned. She's packed up the picnic basket and has fashioned it to the side where the saddlebags are. Edgar, I need to get you home. I need to take care of you. You aren't doing well. Are you sure you don't want me to drive?
I can drive. I'll be alright. Edgar will get on the motorcycle, start it, and drive.
Is there anything you'd like to say to Aelin as you drive?
He's just looking around for anything that looks familiar.
It looks familiar to you. Yes. You have lived here with Aelin for the past few years. You were married in the church that you passed by on your motorcycle. You don't recognize necessarily the faces of the people that pass by. Maybe you're passing by them too quick, but you can't pick out any discernible features on these people. But yes.
He'll just drive to whichever way feels like home.
Mm-hmm. You know which way is home. You drive and drive through the town and to the coast, to a small home that you built near the water on a cliff.
It's all very strange.
Aelin takes your hand and brings you inside. And the home is small and quaint, nice, and well kept. You see a picture of you and your father, you as a young man and your father. A more recent picture of you and your mother seems to have been taken in the last year or so. It's in one of those digital photo frames that changes back and forth. Seems to have met her at the airport from wherever she was.
At this point, Edgar's deeply suspicious, but loath to say anything.
Aelin puts on tea. She puts the basket aside to deal with later, and she puts on tea. She comes over and takes off your coat and tells you, "Sit down, Edgar. I'll take your shoes."
Fine. Edgar will sit.
She looks up at you with very concerned eyes. "Edgar, I don't understand. What happened?"
It just doesn't feel. Aelin, this isn't my life.
"Is this not the life that you want, Edgar? Have I done something?"
No. It's none of that. It's just the pieces feel wrong. This isn't the life I lived. This is a storybook. Everything went right.
"Are you not happy?"
I'm not me. Yeah.
"What would you rather have, Edgar?"
Where's Olivia?
As you say that, can you make me a stamina and occult roll?
Fortitude added or no?
I'll allow it.
These successes.
How many?
2.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes. Did you say, "Where's Olivia?" Aelin responds with, "Who is Olivia?" And you realize you don't know who Olivia is.
Can you recall?
"It's because you are unwell, Edgar." And as she says that, you do feel like a sweat coming on. You feel a slight tightness in the throat. You have spent too many days out on that boat, and you are not taking care of yourself out there.
Maybe you're right.
I think, especially if you do want to have children, you should consider selling the boats or making a partnership with someone, and you can sell the fish and they can do the fishing. That way you can be home. We have a boy, he can help you at the fish market.
We have a boy.
If we have a boy. Little girls don't want to smell like fish, I don't think. Maybe if she's your daughter, she will.
I think that would make Jerry happy.
Yes, but what would make me happy is if you lie down for a little while.
Sleep if perchance to dream.
I will bring you tea and something more substantial than wine and cheese.
Sure.
She walks you into the bedroom. You lay down. The bed is soft and nice and warm, and everything has this sort of glow feeling of home around it. And as you said, Edgar, you feel like this is a storybook tale. This doesn't feel real. But she tells you to sleep, and you do sleep. And time passes. You don't remember when or how, but she's in the bed with you. It's late into the night, and it is cold. And Aelin is pressed up against you, and she says, Edgar, will you go get the firewood that you cut the other day and make a fire? It is very cold.
I'll get that, and then I'll step out for a cigarette.
She kisses you before you leave.
I love you. I will always love you.
I love you, and I'll love you even more if you make me warm.
That I can do. Edgar will stand and grab his jacket on the way out.
Grab your jacket. It is cold. It's frigid cold here on the coast. And as you go out to where you have your pile of wood and you have it covered, so from the rain, which is ever present here, the figure that you saw in the meadow is standing out there.
What do you want?
He removes his hoodie. He has exceptionally bright blonde hair, green eyes, and he has a tonsure, something that you're not entirely sure you've ever seen in person, but you know for sure you've seen it in books, media, images in the church. And he says, with a Irish accent that Huddy can't do, but he says, do you know me, laddie?
Never seen you before in my life. What, are you supposed to be, some sort of monk?
In another life? What are you supposed to be, some sort of fisherman?
In this life.
He holds out his hand. My name is Gael.
Edgar.
What are you doing?
Getting firewood. What are you doing?
You know, as well as I know, this isn't real.
It's what she wants.
That's my point. What are you doing?
What she wants.
My name is Gael. I was born in 1453 in the church. And I was embraced into Clan Cappadocian. Do you know what that is?
I know you sound a lot like Louis de Pontelac.
Okay. And he swings and he hits you.
Sure.
Hits you again. And he keeps hitting you. What do you do?
I think in this ideal form of Edgar, he'll go for the knife and go for the neck.
Mm-hmm. As you go for the knife and go for the neck, stab him in the neck with the knife, you get this flash in your mind of stabbing someone inside of, looks like a titty bar. Except it's not a knife, it's a screwdriver.
Fine. What are you trying to get across, Gael?
Gael pulls the knife out of his neck, hands it back to you. You have no wounds on your face, and no blood comes out of his neck.
Alright, so the pieces are wrong. So what?
I need to know what Edgar is doing.
Trying to save her life.
Good. So you are remembering.
As much as she'll let me.
She can't control me.
She can't control herself, Gael.
No. And she can't control you entirely either, otherwise you wouldn't remember a thing.
This isn't her, this is fucking Behesht.
It would be nice if things were that simple, but they never are with the will workers.
She wouldn't do this to me.
No. Aelin wouldn't. The avatar living inside of her will make her do things you never even dreamed possible.
It's not her fault.
I am in agreement with you. But that's not really important right now. Do you remember who I am?
I remember how soft Darius's hands were.
Good.
I remember how the way he looked at us made the rest of the world fall away.
Good.
Tenderness of his kiss was like the touch of Michelangelo in The Creator.
Good. Do you remember the pain of his death?
Every day.
Good. This passion play, Edgar, has been playing out for a millennia. I made the mistake, or maybe I'm the one who started breaking the chain, by not giving in to despair. I held on to find her. But I failed. I let a goddamn Giovanni get the better of me. It broke something, and that's the problem with these will workers, is they work their magic however they want to, and they don't think about the consequences. They don't think about the, chaos theory.
So what am I to do? I've already put together that I have to take you back from Lucius.
You do. Because you need my knowledge.
How can I take you back from him without risking breaking him into me?
I don't have answers to things I don't know anything about, Edgar. But here's where things have changed. When Behesht did this, there was no way she could have known that the Clan of Death would come together as one family. Never in her wildest dreams would she thought something so possible. Unlike the rest of your incarnations, unlike the rest of us, you have a family to rely on. You are not an individual dealing with this alone. When you try and bring it to your other clanmates and they take one look at your singer and they eat her, drain her dry in front of your eyes.
The only reason they do not is because they fear the power I wield.
I don't care what the reason is, Edgar. They aren't, and they haven't, and that is different. Do you understand? She has the necklace. That is different. Darius and I tried to get that necklace before he expired. Not so he could wield unlimited power in the world, but so he could destroy Behesht in the Shadowlands with that power.
She's in the Skinlands now. Lucius found her and brought her here.
Yes, I know. I know what you know, Edgar.
Sir.
We are tethered. Lucius, Aelin, me, all the ones that came before me, and her.
Destiny is just what powerful wordsmiths use to convince the masses that something is unattainable.
That's exactly what Darius said to me. To us.
So what do we do? Do we let the technocrats sever the connection?
Think back, Edgar. You watched Darius take his own life rather be taken by the technocracy. Do you really think that my advice to you would be to give Aelin over to them?
Never give her over to them. But if they can help her...
They don't want to help her. They don't want to help us. They just want to make it stop so they can take the power for themselves. Whatever Behesht did is something that they cannot do, something that cannot be done, should not be done. And she did it.
So they can recreate it for themselves.
That is what Darius and I believed.
So that Abru can recreate it for herself and destroy all the rest and be the only one with power.
Yes. You have a great opportunity, Edgar, more than any of the ones that came before you. You are not chained like we were. You can seek out aid from the Samdi, the Nagaraja.
I don't trust them.
I don't really care if who you trust or don't. I care that you plan to end this. Now, this cycle.
What if we never get to see them again?
What do you mean?
Darius, Aelin, we end the cycle. What is there beyond this? What guarantee is there that we will ever see them again?
Darius determined, in whatever way the wool workers determined things, that should he destroy the original tether, Behesht, the one who did this, one of two things will happen. He would awaken as a mage true, or he would lose his avatar and return to who he was before he was reincarnated. Both of those outcomes he found preferable to perpetuating the cycle into eternity. And I made a promise to Darius. If he awoke, that I would feed him my blood and keep the power away from him. I believe Aelin asked the same of you. Because they are the same.
Does it work?
Does what work?
Do we know if our blood is enough to stagnate them?
A will worker. Yes. There have been many. Especially among the Blood Witches.
And even so, why? Why would we? Gael.
Because Darius, Aelin, the ones who came before, you've seen it, you know it deep down. They are pure souls. They want nothing. They crave no power.
And yet, all of the things they could do, all of the things they could change.
That's where the problem lies, isn't it, Edgar? We had this discussion before, many times, with them. All the good that they could do would not outweigh the consequences of the carnage they would bring upon this world.
Like we're any better. Like our blood doesn't make them worse.
We're not any better, but they make us better.
I don't feel better, Gael. I am so much more dangerous than I have ever been. And I crave it. I seek it out. I take pleasure in vengeance. I might be able to get up before the sun goes down. But I am so much worse than I have ever been.
Then, end it, Edgar. Take her life. Let the cycle start anew. Take your own while you're at it. Trust me, it doesn't work trying to stay afloat. And we will try again. Except you will be with me this time.
We don't have time. We don't have time to start over.
Darius believed that if he awoke, he would purify the Shadowbane without the tether to Behesht. And then I would take him away from any power. It would be his last act. I believe Aelin would want the same. But we were not able to see, obviously, if it worked one way or the other. Because of the technocracy. They are not immortals, Edgar. Power they have, yes. But they can be destroyed.
How? In the age I live in, you look at everything dominated by technology. Their mastery of paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell me, honestly.
I'd be happy to tell you, Edgar. They've tracked us, followed us in the desert in Medina. They had to bring their little toys with them, and their little toys only get them so far in a land without technology. I killed them easily and mercilessly, and with prejudice. Lure them somewhere.
Where? In Berlin.
Mm-hmm. There are many places in Berlin that are blackout zones. The forest, for example.
think that's better left to the wolves.
But I think it would be best left for you to lure them there.
You're not wrong.
If you decide that you don't want to just give up and end it all, when you leave this pocket, give Aelin's body to someone that you trust, someone vicious, someone strong, someone who won't let her be harmed. I will keep her here.
Who can I trust?
I can't tell you that, Edgar.
For someone with all the answers, it seems you've got precious few that actually make a difference.
Ask me. Edgar, am I supposed to know your own mind?
I can't trust any of them. Adelaide, she tried to leave us. Tullio, he has the blood of the Giovanni. He can't be trusted.
That we are in agreement.
Imogen gives everything she has to the Dark Mother. Who even the fuck is that? Maria's seeking but not lost. Always on to the next.
Any questions you have for me, Edgar, ask them now, and then say goodbye to Aelin.
Why did you fight? Why didn't you just give up?
I made a promise.
Don't cut that shite with me, Gael.
I made a promise to Darius that I wouldn't give up, that I would find the next one. But it wasn't meant to be. She was there, grown full adult upon his death, and I couldn't see her. I couldn't sense her. I couldn't find her. She wasn't meant for me. She was meant for you.
There has to be another way. With the shadow pain.
My recommendation is twofold. You figure out who in the family you can actually trust and bring into the fold, and eliminate the ones that pose any sort of threat to Aelin, Berlin, or the Shadowbane. 2, get rid of Lucius. Whether you get me back or not, get rid of him. 3, and maybe this one's the most important, but probably the most difficult, destroy Behesht. In the Skinlands, in the Shadowlands, it doesn't matter. Find her. Destroy her.
How do we do it? She's encased in stone.
Yes, well, we never really got that far. You'll have to figure it out on your own. But like I said, that's why I led with the family thing. Maybe they can help you. I did everything alone. And believe me, you don't want to go to Roger de Camden again. Family or no.
Despite his nature, I am quite partial to him.
He's duplicitous.
I grew up in a den of vipers.
He sent me after Lucius, and he knew. He knew.
I gather you are probably one of the few of Cappadocius's line that rivaled him in age and status.
Not quite.
but enough to make him twitchy.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Really, what made him twitchy is that I wasn't a big fan of his Mithras nonsense. And maybe I shot off at the mouth a little bit about how all gods should be dead. But that's neither here nor there.
I'm tired, Gael.
I know. And I'm sorry. Truly I am. That it's fallen on you. It was our fault. Not you and not me. But Cappadocius did this. Behesht wanted to punish him. Reclaim what he had stolen.
Did you know Anastasia, daughter of the first?
We called her Anastasia, which is how you actually pronounce her name. I think she started going by the German pronunciation at some point in the Middle Ages. But yes.
I'm going to have one opportunity to shoot at her, and I better not miss.
It sounds like a statement, not a question.
I need something that's going to make me too interesting, that she'll be able to focus on nothing else. I need information. I need to know something that no one who wasn't alive 600 years ago would know. I need to pique her interest. It's the only way I'll be able to get to Behesht. I already found the journal from the Celebrate.
What about the location of Etrius?
I figured he died at Vienna.
No. He was never there. Call that Tremere propaganda. I should know, I spoke to him before I was Diablerized. And I know where he was going.
Which means Lucius knows.
Doubtful. I've kept it, pretty tight in there. Pretty quiet.
What does he fear?
Failure.
Where was Etrius going?
Etrius is in Portugal. Deep under the ground. Lisbon, to be specific.
Good. That should be enough to open the doors of Bergain once more. But will it be enough to barter for Behesht?
Anastasia has very little that interests her. Behesht will be one of those things. If you could convince her that destroying the tether will make something happen, it might be enough to let you try. You always were good at lying.
Yes. It flows easily. It's all about managing your facial expression.
Say your goodbyes. Don't let her know. Use that lying. Be convincing.
And when I wake up, then what? The work begins.
It's up to you, Edgar, isn't it?
No. You haven't been listening to me, Gael. It's their world. We're just living in it.
When you wake up, Aelin won't. I will keep her here. If you want her to wake up, if you want to see her again, as she was the night you found her, you will begin the work, as you said.
If you would have broken everything, if you would have been in my shoes and been successful, would you have given Darius the embrace?
Only if he asked me for it.
Don't think I can watch her die, even slowly as a ghoul. I don't think I'm that strong, Gael.
Are you strong enough to kill her and bring her back? I suppose is the real question then.
That doesn't take strength.
Oh, it does. Ask any caitiff. That's a joke.
Goodbye, Gael.
Hopefully just for now.
We'll see. Lucius is a hard prey to track. You should know.
Hard to track? No. Hard to kill? Yes.
It's probably only not hard to track for you because you, I don't know, probably had to stalk rabbits across the moor as a lad. Go back to the bog, Gael.
I'm not going anywhere. Edgar. Say your goodbyes. I will keep our singer happy.
Don't let her get cold. She hates that.
Never.
Edgar will grab a bundle of firewood and head back into the house.
Aelin is under the thick sort of wool blanket here. She says, Edgar, you're gone so long. I'm shivering.
Sorry, there was a dog. You know how I get.
We can get a dog if you want a dog.
I don't have very good luck with them. The girl stack wood into the fireplace and then light it.
Mm-hmm.
Get back in the bed. Just hold her face in his hands. I will never be far from you.
I should hope not.
You're right. Now, we're gonna need to start getting a good night's rest if we're gonna have wee bairns waking us up in the morning.
So you have decided then?
You make it easy to decide.
should think I would like to name the girl Daria.
That'd be nice.
And name the boy, after your father.
Perhaps.
Or Edgar Jr.
Certainly not. We'll workshop it.
I love you, Edgar.
I love you. Oh, now into that good night. I'll kiss her on the forehead.
Gael appears in the room, and he says, "Get up, laddie."
You will.
As you stand up and look at Gael again, he looks just like you.
Don't do that while I'm in that room.
Crawls into bed with Aelin, and Aelin doesn't notice that there's a difference. And he speaks in your voice. And he holds her very close. And he's not talking to you anymore.
Edgar will leave the house.
You walk out the door. You awake inside of your penthouse apartment here in Charlottenburg. You don't remember how you got here. You don't know where your car currently is, the one that you were driving in when this happened. You're both laying on your bed, your hands clasped together with Aelin's. Aelin is wearing the necklace again. And she does not stir. She does not wake.
I think Edgar will slip the necklace off of her.
Okay.
He will put it in his inside jacket pocket.
Mm-hmm. Check your pockets. You don't have your phone. You think maybe it might be in the car, and you're trying to think, where the hell is your car? Do you grab anything from the apartment? Do you head to look for your car? What do? You have no phone.
You pick Aelin up and bring her with us, but yeah, we're gonna go look for the car.
You're gonna carry Aelin, okay. So you pick Aelin up, you head to the door, and again, you don't have your phone, so it wouldn't ping, but as you get to the door, do you just open it, or do you look through the people?
Oh, it's reflex at this point to look at people.
You see a woman on the other side of the peephole. She has long, dark, curly hair. She's wearing a very long dress. It's almost midnight blue in color. It looks disheveled. She looks disheveled. She's very dark circles under her eyes. She doesn't look very well, but she's standing in front of your door, sort of looking around, and it's strange. Her hair is blowing. There must be a draft in the hallway.
The girl just touches elbow to the speaker button.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing here? Who are you?
This is going to sound very strange. I was brought here.
Not as strange as you think. The girl will lay Aelin down on the couch and then open the door.
As you open the door, something you couldn't see through the peephole, you see standing next to her is a small wolf.
Really? You're making house calls now?
I don't know who you are.
Well, one of you got word to one of mine that there was somebody shooting for my business.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about that. My name is Tiara Sweets.
Edgar, wait. Come in.
She looks down at the small wolf, and she just sort of makes a nod, and they leave.
Who's your friend? They could come in too if they like.
Yes, I know, but I'd rather that they guard the area.
So, again, who's your friend?
It's my husband.
Fair enough. Get you a cup of tea.
I'm all right.
Something stronger? Maybe you look a bit whacked. No offense.
I had a very, very rough night. I was brought here by the wind. Does that make sense to you?
My wife is a will worker, so very little makes sense to me, and yet I accept it regardless.
She's almost, it's strange, Edgar. She's almost ethereal in the way that she moves, in the way that she looks at you, in the way that her presence gives off. I mean, there's the beast in you can sense that she is supernatural, that she is a werewolf, perhaps, a lupine, but she almost gives you vibes of the Banu Hakim, the Tremere, this sort of magic in her, sort of a vibe that you get. You sort of game recognizes game almost.
Edgar will pour her a little dram of whiskey and slide it across the counter.
She looks at it and picks it up. I don't think I've had a drink since my children were born. And she downs it.
I've had too many drinks since my children were born.
Can leeches procreate?
They're my godchildren. And no, we cannot. Does that bother you?
No. I hope.
Do I bother you?
On principle, yes. But you don't smell as bad as some of them do.
It's because I'm not as bad as most of them are.
That's your perspective. Do you have any idea why the spirit of... She sort of struggles and rolls her eyes, and she's not sure how much she should say to you, and then she decides she's just going to say it. Do you have any idea why the patron spirit of my tribe would guide me to your door?
Because I believe we're working towards the same thing. Your people want the Shadow Bane destroyed, I imagine.
She looks back, but her husband isn't there. She says, I know very little about that.
Well, she and I are going to destroy it. She's the only one who can.
I highly doubt that.
She's the only one that can do it permanently.
What is it that you want from me?
I think it's not what I want from you. I think it's what your patron spirit of your tribe wants for you.
Do you need me to protect her? Why is she not waking up?
She's in a very deep dream. She'll wake when it's time. And there are things that need doing. I don't know you. You don't know me. I can't trust you. But I trust her. And I know that your kind are no friend to mine. So the enemy of my enemy must be my ally. What would you require in return for watching her? Watching over her for a time?
The wind blows through your apartment heavily and circles over Aelin. Runs through this person who calls herself Tiara. And Tiara says, I require nothing to do the will of my patron.
That's not what I asked.
There is nothing that you could possibly give me. Nothing that I would require from a leech.
You vastly underestimate the power I wield.
Spoken like a leech. My husband and his pack might have words with you.
You said you have children.
I do.
I imagine your condition makes it very difficult to keep income stable.
Perhaps.
That's no reason to let your children suffer.
My children do not suffer. My children are loved.
That I don't doubt. You must live close. In the city, I'd imagine, or nearby.
Nearby. Not in Berlin proper. We live in the middle of nowhere, you might say.
I could count on two hands the amount of schools for children here in Berlin. By the way you talk about them, I gather that they're not very old, maybe 7 to 11.
You feel the rage rolling off of her increase. Your beast recoils. It's telling you to flee, to run.
I want to help you. And I don't do anything without repaying favors. And let us make no mistake, you are doing me a favor. Don't mean to impose, but there needs to be something that I give you in return.
If I require something from a leech, you will hear from me. Or my husband. Or his pack.
Tiara, was it?
Yes.
Full transparency here. You already gave me your last name. It would take me less than an hour to find your children and what school they go to. Let me help you.
I don't know what it is that you are offering help for. I don't understand the ways of the people of the map.
Edgar will reach into his inside suit pocket, pull out his checkbook, and write a substantial check from Olivia's assets and slide it across the table.
She looks down at it.
There's no name in the subject and in the pay to the order of line. I imagine there's one of you at least with bank accounts, or else, I feel like there'd be no way to get on.
As you say that, the wolf, at least you assume it was the wolf, walks in as a regular person. He's very handsome. He's wearing sort of like cargo attire and canvas. He's got brown hair. And he says, yeah, Walker has a bank account. And he looks at Tiara and he said, I told you to tell him, told you to call you Gael. And she says something to him in a language that you don't know that sounds guttural and animalistic and strange. And he just laughs uproariously at what she says. And he says, yeah, Walker. You ever heard that name? Has a bank account.
Yeah, I have heard that name.
He holds his hand out. It's very calloused and dirty. His name's Strider.
Oh, I've heard your name too.
I've heard yours.
So, use this. Do something nice for your children and your people. I don't know what you require. I don't know what your needs are, but I know that money helps.
Sure. Yeah.
Money also helps hide things. And I gather there's quite a bit of hiding that needs to be done with your activities as well. What do you know about my company? And let me be clear, I have not been in control of my company in years. There was a hostile takeover, and it is mine in name only.
Yeah, we kind of figured that. Walker knows quite a bit. He's our, let's say, resident hacktivist.
Hacker werewolves. Very 90s.
Oh, brother. You leeches really are disconnected from your spiritual side, aren't you?
I wouldn't go that far. And Edgar will point a finger out towards a candle and palm a flame, light it.
They both take a step back when you do that. And their rage increases any more, and Edgar, you're going to have to make a frenzy check. A fear frenzy check.
I think I'm quite spiritual.
Nothing spiritual about that shit.
Agree to disagree.
So, money for protecting the woman.
Unless there's something, well, in addition, if there's anything else you need from me, now would be the time to ask, Strider.
We, have a funeral we need to get back to. But, you, Imogen, Maria, and any other friends you want to bring with you, we need to meet.
I will agree. I will agree to that if you tell me where you will keep Aelin.
I don't know, pretty boy. You want to walk into a den full of werewolves? And Tiara says something to again in that guttural tongue. It doesn't even... It sounds otherworldly. It definitely doesn't sound human.
I assure you, Strider, the fear that I have of you is only of the healthy variety. You know the way they say you should fear the Lord your God. Or maybe you don't know that. I don't know. Do you werewolves grow up with religion? I imagine you do.
Sure do. But definitely not about God. Our deity is matriarchal.
Hey, whoa. Don't put that shite on me. I'm not one of those God can't be a woman freaks.
I don't really want to tell you the location of our special place.
And I really don't want to meet with you. You get me? We have to trust each other if this is going to work.
Well, at least you don't smell as bad as your friends. And Tiara says, yes, I told him that.
There's a reason for that. And maybe, just maybe, if we can work up a bit of trust, might tell you.
We're in Potsdam.
Wonderful. Imogen and Tulio should know their way around.
We'll be meeting you here in Berlin. You can't come to our special place.
Is that right?
I highly doubt I could convince the werewolves that live there to let you in. Especially this one guy, his name's Crookpaw. Oh, and Heart Eater. There's no way.
I can be persuasive when I need to be, but I understand what you're getting at.
We had one of you in our special place. We brought them there, sort of as a show. It was, oh god, what was it, Tiara? It's like some sort of spaghetti dish. What was it again?
Puttanesca.
Yeah. Elmer, like the glue.
Oh, I quite liked Elmer.
Walker ripped his head off.
I didn't like him enough to take offense to his death.
Sorry if he was a brother or something.
Cousin, but only distant.
So no, you can't come to Potsdam, but that is where we would take her. You wouldn't like it there either.
Now, I did hear about a few wolves eating some ghouls outside of Berghain. Now, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
I'm not really a club-going wolf.
That doesn't mean you don't know something.
You take my statement however you like. Mr. Waite.
I'm just saying the more transparent we are with each other, the better this works.
I might not. Wasn't me.
No, I don't care who it was. I'm not upset about it.
Then why do you want to know?
Because you never know when knowing the right things is going to save your life. And I think you know a thing or two about that.
There may have been a kerfuffle outside of Berghain. We are busy. We don't spend all of our time sitting in penthouses, drinking blood, and making money.
No, but when a ghoul gets wholly devoured, that tends to be something that, notice is taken.
I don't know what the fuck a ghoul is.
Our servitors. Halfway between like...
Whoops.
Still human, but not. And one was fully consumed outside of Berghain by one of yours.
You get hungry when you become big and monstrous. Do you want me to show you? And Tiara puts her hand on his chest.
I'm just trying to draw what I can.
Mr. Waite, we are not used to being questioned by creatures outside of our own kind. You'll have to forgive us for our hesitancy, and we operate on a basis of anger and rage.
Now, that I can understand.
I doubt it, but okay.
This is what I can do for you. I'll meet with your, what do you call yourselves? A gaggle?
A pack.
Right, a pack. I'll meet with your pack.
Wolves, get it?
No, we don't have wolves where I'm from.
No, but you would be shocked of how many werewolves come from your last name. You see, Walker doesn't have to go digging around in the internet like the average person. See, we can ask the spirits that live inside of your phones to give us information. And he found out that your last name is Duncern.
My bloodline is the Duncern. My father's name was Wade, and so that is my name as well.
Well, your bloodline and our kind have a lot in common.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hmm.
You know how many werewolf stories we have in Scotland?
Quite a few, I imagine. If there are any of your kind still around, they would call themselves Heart Wardens now.
That sounds positively fluff.
Well, it used to be Fianna, but you can decide whether or not that one's better.
That sounds like a racial stereotype, but...
Yeah. Even werewolves have to do rebranding sometimes.
Fair enough. We, the Clan of Death, rebranded not too long ago either. To answer your question, that's why I don't smell like the rest of them. They all cavort with the dead things.
Oh, I see.
I have no interest in it.
What do you have interest in, Mr. Duncern?
Edgar Wade is my name. I have interest in keeping my wife alive.
Now that never came across anything Walker put forward that you were married.
Well, just goes to show you that not everything can be found between a bunch of ones and zeros.
Correct.
I want to keep my wife alive. And I want to destroy this Shadowbane and be done with it. And I would like to have as many interesting allies as I can make along the way.
We'll find how allied we are when we all meet. Unfortunately, I can't speak for her, and neither can my wife, because our pack leader is not here. And Tiara says, his pack leader is my sister.
I understand. You should also know that I'm not in control of the pack I'm with. They all have minds of their own. We do not function as closely as you, even though we are all family. I'm sure you understand family can be messy.
Yes, I think I am smelling what you're stepping in.
So you can hold what we have said here to be true. But I make no guarantees of what is to be said when you meet with the rest of them.
If you prove to be completely useless, we will kill you.
You'll try.
We will. We're hoping that you won't be useless. So, we're not gunning out to get you.
I hope that you never decide to take it upon yourself to inquire further on that regard.
Use a lot of... I'm not a big word guy. Not that way, anyway. You use a lot of words to dance around what you really mean. I'm kind of what you might call a storyteller, but I like to be a little bit more direct in my stories.
Just look him up and down. Yeah, you don't look like a big word guy.
I really hope I don't have to eat you, Edgar.
I really hope I don't have to immolate you and then find your children, Walker.
You want to make me a fear frenzy check?
Sure.
We're dealing with werewolves here. I need at least 4 successes. So that is your unspent willpower, which should be full, and 3 dice for your humanity, because you're at 9 humanity.
Any hunger dice?
No hunger dice. And you cannot willpower reroll a frenzy check.
7 successes.
The beast is crawling up your throat. It screams in your mind, and it tells you to run, to flee, to shut the fuck up. But you do not have to listen to it.
And the girl just straighten his tie.
They are unaware of what the beast is or if anything would cause you to flee. They are also don't necessarily understand how their rage affects the things around them because they feel it all the time.
Gesture to Aelin on the couch. Do we have to do? If any harm comes to her, it's not me you should fear.
Does she have a name? Any allergies? Is she gonna wake up?
She'll wake up when she needs to. Her name is Aelin.
You see a change come over Strider's face. Oh, I know that fucking name.
She's my wife.
You've made your servitor your wife?
She's not any servitor of mine. She does not take the blood. She's with me because we love each other.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
I don't know, you tell me. Now look between Tiara and Walker.
Strider. Strider says something to Tiara in that guttural tongue. And then he says, yeah, we will definitely make sure that no harm comes to her.
Good. I need a way to reach you.
Like I said, we're at a funeral at the moment. But you have Walker's number. I gave it to one of you.
Edgar will pull the business card out of his jacket.
He's our tech guy. We don't need phones to talk to each other.
That must be nice.
It is.
I remember a time when all of the world was that way.
How old are you?
Get to know me a little better and maybe you'll find out.
He looks at Tiara, looks back. I was born in 1988.
Ah, 1988. Good year.
Yeah, I think I probably got a good 4 years left before I kick it.
Unfortunate. I was born in the 60s.
That's crazy. Old as your dad, he says to Tiara.
And I still have hundreds of years to live.
Pass.
It's not a bargain I would strike again. And I think that makes me different than the rest of them. I wanted children. I wanted a life.
But it was taken from you without your consent.
That's an old story.
Yes, you might actually like our pack leader. She's, you might call her a good judge of character. And she is of the opinion that not all leeches are irredeemable.
I respect your candor, but I don't think we need to stand be redeemed. It's for God to decide. Whether that is your God or mine, I think that there's some debate to be out there.
Well, I know our God is real because she chooses each and every one of us to be her warriors. I wonder, Duncern, had you lived a little longer if she would have chosen you?
Perish the thought.
Well, do you want a carrier? Or should I? You got a car? We don't really need one.
I've got a few I can spare. Don't bother bringing it back. Change the plates. I'm sure you're familiar with the practice.
Surely. Walker will love having new parts to soup up his van.
Good. And Edgar will carry Aelin down to the garage.
What car do you give them?
The truck.
All right. Where
the
do you
blacked
put her?
out Mercedes-Benz
Mercedes-Benz truck. Where do you put her in the car? In the truck.
Layer across the back seat.
As you lay her across the back seat, you see those horrific burn scars starting to form on her again. Because you have removed the necklace.
I'll put it back on her just to keep her safe.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do, that necklace around her, it cannot be removed or she'll die. Do you understand?
Tiara nods. I will keep her safe.
Do I have your word?
Yes. And she says it confidently and without hesitation. Almost as if it's strange for her to be asked that question. And Strider, too, looks oddly at you when you ask that. And you get this impression that werewolves, at least these werewolves who live together, must trust each other implicitly with their own lives.
I'm envious of the blessing of your children. And girl just nod, head back up the stairs. He won't wait for a response.
Strider gets into the front seat and Tiara sits in the back with Aelin. And he honks the horn twice before driving off. And as you say, you are envious of their children, of the love that their children has from them. Also, it dawns on you that Strider said he has a good 4 years left. You made the assumption that the children are between the ages of 7 and 11. And Strider, with full confidence and without any sort of sorrowfulness to his voice, said that he thinks he has about 4 years left. You get the impression that werewolves' lives are short and violent. And maybe for them having children is probably not the best for them. And that is where we are going to end our special session, number 3, until we die for this evening. Thank you, Avery.